All right, cool. All right, welcome, guys. All right, we're doing the Chimera Guild interview. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys, and then we'll just go ahead and get started.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ravian or Tuna, one of the guild leaders of Chimera.
Hey guys, this is Papatura, one of the guild leaders for Chimera.
And then there's a third guy, and you guys are all code leaders, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Texas is the third leader of Chimera.
Okay. He might show up late. We're not sure where he is. We pinged him, but it's okay because we'll just get started. Um, so uh, so you have your three co-leaders. Do you guys have like officer ranks in your guild for your structure, or no?
Right now, we've got senior leadership. We don't really have a true officer per se. Typically, how we do as far as our getting people in and promotion track is we do a vote system as the guys come in for essentially going through people that mesh well with the group and everything else. We vote them up, but we do have a couple senior leader guys, just not quite officers.
Okay, cool. Okay, and then when was your guild founded, and like could you give us like a brief description of like your guild?
Yeah, so we started what, Papa, like a month and a half ago, I think, whenever you and Hexus first created it.
Yeah, probably about a month and a half. Yeah, I'd say right around the beginning of December. Actually, was when it was.
Okay, so started everything. We wanted to essentially start off with a new reputation because that's the one thing, and we all kind of adhere to that. That's the only thing you really can't lose in the game is whatever your reputation and people view you as. That's something that no matter what happens is going to kind of stay with you and immortal in the
Mm-hmm.
community itself. So I wanted to start that off, create kind of a mercenary company that does not just like your PvP events. Granted, we will do those, but only if we're working next to somebody else. We're not going to use the excuse of being a mercenary company to go kill whoever we want to quote unquote claim we have a contract against that person.
Mm-hmm.
But to work side by side with somebody, be it attack or defense, as well as do contracts, getting materials, getting boss materials, scrolls, things of that nature to help move around.
Okay. I'm okay. Well, I'm a little bit confused. You're a mercenary company, but you're in an alliance. How does that work?
As long as it doesn't interfere with the views of the alliance. Obviously, I'm not going to take a contract if it does anything to hinder my alliance. You could say that by me giving materials to somebody that could per se help that, but keeping that internal and us not being stupid about the whole fact can protect you from that. And it doesn't have to be just that, like I said, with the PV materials and everything else like that and defense. But it's not going to be anything where I'm going to take a contract against someone I work with. Um, and we would always go out and just help out our alliance.
Uh, Someone from my guild said you look like you're trying to sell them insurance.
I'll sell you a boat though. I will do that.
Oh my god. Um. Well, I mean, this is my opinion. This isn't like factual, but I am gonna say it's gonna be very hard for you to do any kind of mercenary work while being in an alliance. It's gonna cause you all fucking sorts of problems, man. Um, just because, like, I mean, Legion for one, they live in the center of the map, right? So they're gonna have something with everybody. Like, they're gonna touch everyone as far as politics goes, and you're a part of that. So yeah, it's gonna be very hard for you to have contracts and there not be some sort of like bias view towards that. Just saying and going into the future. But I wish you the best of luck with the
Hmm.
mercs.
No,
Um
so I get that, but I mean, there's still like the material aspect and everything else, and there's still plenty of people who aren't. Yeah, there's people that don't like Legion, but there's always going to be people in the game, and that was a big thing in MO1 too, was getting materials for other people. Right now, because of beta, we've still gotten a bunch of contracts, but it's nowhere near as big because everyone's just kind of living on what they got for the most part. Because everyone for just about has acquired more than they need at this stage of the game.
right, yeah. So where do you guys live? What town do you plan to, I mean, from launch perspective? Like where do you want to start?
Launch, we'll probably end up in Bhakti, which is where we are currently at some point. Obviously, everyone's going to have to be doing some traveling around because books are going to be needed again, come persistence and everything else to get that all squared away.
Okay. Um and like are you guys going for a castle or
Oh yeah, I mean we definitely plan on going for a castle. We took the NK one just because it was there, and
Mhm.
took it after 3 days, where we were just kind of like, hey, there's a free castle. Why don't we see what we can do? And 3 days later, we had taken the MK castle. I'm honestly really surprised that no one had even attempted to take it at that point.
I think all the questions have already been answered that people were, wondering about. Really, I guess, and nobody wanted to make their members put all this like resources into it, if they didn't have to, because it's gonna get wiped. So that was
Oh yeah.
probably the main factor. I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest reason we did is just because I wanted the guys to kind of see what it took to take a castle, and the materials needed and the process and so on and so forth. And hopefully furniture will be coming out for full persistence so we can mess around with that as well.
So how much of the gold and materials did you have before? Because you said it took you 3 days. So how much did you have before that?
No wood, no rocks. Um, I think we may have had a couple wooden rocks just laying around that we'd acquired, but nothing like substantial. And then how much gold did we have, Papa, before? I think we had like what, 1,500?
We had, yeah, 1,500, and the materials that we had were just stuff that we were using for bows and, processing. It wasn't anything that we had stacked away anywhere. So all the wood got chopped within hours. The we were doing the mining when we got to the place, and as we were building walls, we were doing the mining, just going around the rocks around the area.
So you farmed like 2,500 gold in like 3 days. Would you guys say that like maybe like castles are like too cheap if we can like farm something like that in like 3 days, 4 days, let's say?
It, yeah, no,
Well,
I can see that. It is kind of hard to think about though, because you have to remember too. Right now, we're all skilled all the way up, and that skill gain's going to go down 100%. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be as easy to just go out and blast through doing those dungeons and everything else, because you're not going to be able to essentially be at the late game.
Right, but let's assume like 3 weeks into launch, right? Everyone's leveled up who was started playing since day one. You have a fully leveled character. If you oh hey Hexus is here. Um, if you started from nothing at 3 weeks in, and you have like a guild of let's say 15 people, should it only take you 3 or 4 days to get to in-game content? You know what I mean? Like starting from nothing, as far as like besides a level character. I mean, what's your guys' opinion on that? I don't know.
So I mean, that is kind of hard to say, just because it still takes the coordination and everything else. I think the limiting factor on that is going to be the metal aspect of it, because obviously rocks and stone, anybody can go out and just level the skill, and after doing that for long enough, you're going to be able to chop and get enough materials there. But getting to the metal, even if it's just basic black, that's going to still take quite a bit of time to get you to that point. I think the gold aspect, I think, would be the only thing that possibly could change, but still, 4,000 gold is really, it's not like it's unattainable, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to get to, because then you also have to be able to defend it, build the walls, and continue building it up after that. And plus, with the fact that hopefully soon, your siege mechanics are going to come in, the last thing you want to do is have just a basic tier castle, because as soon as you do, the next guy that's already beat you to it is just going to take it from you.
Right. Um, do you guys know what a tier 3 castle has as far as HP? I think a standard one only has 10 mil HP, so I'm just
Hmm.
curious what it gets up to. You don't know.
No, I'm not sure. I have to see if I can dig through screenshots to find out. I'm not entirely sure. Are you guys?
That's okay. I was just curious. Um, so are you get what's like your guild stance? Is it like RPK, anti RPK? Where do you guys like fit yourself?
We have a neutral stance. We don't really care about the RPK, ARPK turf war that's been going on. Um, I've been in an ARPK guild, and quite honestly, it almost feels like the same thing at some points, just under a different banner. Um, we will intervene on our own will. If it benefits our guys and keeps our guys safe, we will step in. If not, we don't care. We have a very empire building oriented kind of playstyle, almost like Kodo. Don't fuck with our guys in our area, and we won't shit where we eat. We'll do all that stuff outside of our house.
So it's kind of like defensive PvP sort of.
Just like Switzerland.
Okay. Um, because it's like, I mean, So like, okay, if you see some guy running past your castle, or maybe like it's a few guys, and they're in a guild, they're geared, you're just not gonna touch them.
If we know them, probably not.
No,
If
you don't
they're
know them.
All right, then probably not. However, if they're carrying siege equipment for a known enemy and we know they're going to be using against us, yeah, we're going to defend our area. We know you guys are griefers, just like Furia over in Bhakti. We know what you guys are about. You guys aren't turning a new leaf. We're going to fight you. But if it's just integrity wandering through, if it's a pack of a brand new guild just trying to have some fun, no, go on, have some fun. Just the minute you mess with us, we're going to fight you. We're not going to back down.
And
Okay.
the caveat to that is obviously checking people. If you see a blueberry running around who's naked with a horse with bags, that man's going to be asked to drop loot. Because I guarantee you and I both know what he's probably going to be carrying if he's in your territory running around like that. And the same thing, we start seeing a repeated effort of different people running around that we don't know in small groups trying to stay hidden, doing gear checks, seeing if they have anything on them. And if they refuse, at the end of the day, you're defending your territory. Because the last thing you need is people running around boulders and siege equipment and materials for siege equipment when it's in your territory.
Okay. So if they refuse to drop loot, you're just gonna kill them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you the stuff back if you just refuse to drop loot. I mean, if you just wanted to be a dick about it, but if you have nothing to hide, why would you not do it? I mean, we're not here to grief everybody and kill every blueberry out there. The last thing we want is that. We want this game to thrive. We want new players to come in. That's part of the reason we're in Bhakti, is to help that new player experience.
Okay. So, uh, like you don't really have to answer this. I just try to get a size, like a picture of like your size. Like, how many active players would you say you have? Like currently, I don't mean like right now at the second. I just be in general, day to day sort of thing.
Tuna Pop, if you guys don't mind, I don't mind telling you.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead, man. You're the one who runs the Discord server. You have a better idea than I do on that.
All right, well, let me open this up real quick. Yeah, so on a Tuesday night, on absolutely dead nights, we get about 12 to 15 active players. We've killed Spider Queens on a Tuesday night, on a work night.
Mm-hmm.
And on the weekends, when we have a good chunk of people, we got about 25. Um, in total, we got the 3 leaders. We have 3 manticores, which are basically kind of not officers, but they lead the members. We got 21 members, and we got 28 recruits that we're still feeling out, seeing if they're a good fit for us. We are very quality, not quantity. If we get the quantity, that's great. If we have 100 great guys that can come online and have fun, that's great. But the small group that we do have, the 40, 50 guys that we got, they're solid. You know, they're on. We're talking to them every day. We know about their families. We're going out. We can go out there, have fun, BS, and come back home. So it's really a great group of guys that I'm really happy to be a part of. But yeah, on a normal night, weeknight, about 12, 14. On weekend party time, 2025.
Okay. I talked to Draco about this a little bit yesterday. But like, how'd you guys find yourself in the collective? You could talk about that a little bit.
A lot of that was just having relations with the guys already, because a lot of us have either been playing for a long time um, within our previous guilds, or just in general being active and things like that, knowing the guys and being approached about it. It's a matter of having like-minded individuals as far as territory control and the empire building itself is the big thing the collective's about, is having that piece of the map that you can control and maintain / defend on your own accord. And we kind of
Okay.
fit a lot of that.
Okay. Um. Uh, shit. Did I? I'm sorry. I'm spacing. I'm pretty sure I asked you this, but did I ask you if you were gonna go for a castle? Because I know you mentioned you
Mhm.
got the MK one. I'm sorry. I don't remember your answer now.
Yeah, no, we are planning on going for a castle. We're still working
Okay.
out with everyone else where we're going to be set up at
Right.
the end of the
Okay.
day, because there's still quite a few kind of things up
I,
in
I
the air as
I
far as our
figured
set goes.
I did because I didn't ask about the MK Castle spot, so I knew I was like, wait, that's probably why he fucking said it. So that's my bad. All right, but now we
No, you're
know.
good.
Okay, so this is a guild. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to establish for people who are looking for a guild when they go back and watch this video, they can, because a lot of people when I recruit too, they'll ask me if I don't say it right away. They'll be like, "So are you guys going for like a castle or a keep or whatever it's called?" And I'll be like, "Oh, well, yeah," because a lot of people want to experience that content at least once, so they know like the building aspect of the game. Even like a lot of my guild, they're really into like doing the whole castle thing just to see how it is. Because there's some people who don't want it. You know what I mean? Like there's some people who just want to PvP. They don't want that like responsibility like of the assets and stuff. Um, so when they go back and watch this, they'll have a better idea of what your guild is about if they know that that you want a castle.
Hmm.
Um, all right. I don't know if I have any more questions per se. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about your guild that I didn't cover?
The biggest thing is just hammering back onto that, kind of your respect and your viewpoint within the world of Mortal. That's something that, and the reason why we created the guild as a whole is because your reputation is the only thing that's persistent. That's why we created this guild, to have that reputation, to be respected, not go out being shitters, doing stupid things, essentially police your own. That's our big thing, and that's why we have that tighter knit group of people, is because we really adhere to the fact that you can police your own and don't do anything to jeopardize your personal or the guild's perception within the game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard, especially the bigger you get, is like policing your members to make sure that everyone's kind of like adhering to the like not exactly like the rules, but kind of like
The
you
standards
know
that you have.
the standards. Yeah, like what I mean, like like when someone dies in PvP and they just like go off and they just lose it and start shit talking. It's like, well, I get you died, man, and it sucks that you lost 100 gold, but like you are representing the guild. Like you're representing me at the end of the day too. You know what I mean? So it's like I get it, but it's like calm down.
Yeah,
Like
and I mean, it's a game. If you will never go through this game and never die. Like, there's no way. It's
yeah.
gonna happen at some point. Even if it's
It,
just something stupid, you're going to die.
and it's really like it's really bad too when like that person's on like voice activation in Discord and then you just hear him going off in VoIP and you think he's talking to you at first and then you realize like, oh, this guy's yelling at someone in game. It's like, oh geez, dude. But yeah. Um is there any guilds that you really like fucking hate? I'm just curious, like that you're at war with or anything like that.
I mean,
No,
just the main enemies of collective. Like, go after Rome's with Kodo. People that talk about the whole mess there, but we still go out, join the guys, go kill Kodos. But no one as far as like hate per se.
not
Um,
like on a personal level. I just mean as a guild, like in the game. To be clear.
Mm, not really.
I mean, not really. I mean,
Okay, that's fair.
no one's really slighted us crazy.
Yeah, more other than the people that just come and shit on the graveyard. When you get a bunch of new players over there trying to get their clay gifts, and then you have a whole mass of gilded members to go in there and just start killing brand new players, and we just go out there and grief them back. We've we've actually griefed a couple of the griefers that built houses right behind the graveyard, and we've
Yep.
kept them in their house for hours, killing them repeatedly, camping them at the priest, and just not letting them spawn at all. We just, we do that as a defensive system for the town that we live in. But us going as far as saying hating a guild directly, uh, not personally, and I don't think guild wise. So
Okay.
No, we definitely don't see the content of just killing a brand new player that's going around the graveyard trying to test the game out just to make yourself feel better about getting a kill.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I've like sparred someone. I got him to mercy, but then I didn't kill him. I was like, all right, good fight, and then I just walk away, and they're probably confused as fuck. But
No,
you
absolutely. I
know,
mean, we do duels
like,
all the time. Even with guys we'd fight normally, we'll go out and do duels. I mean, we'll respect that. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have to be able to understand, outside of town, out in the world, I'm gonna kill you, but we can still be respectful about it and like not be dicks to each other. That's entirely possible.
yeah, they're talking about Bhakti graveyard because they live in Bhakti. Just FYI. Trying to think. I feel like I'm missing something from my questions, but I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered most of this stuff. Um, so I mean, I'll ask this question just because I asked it to Draco too as well. Like in the future, do you guys see yourselves staying in the collective like as a super long term, like year plus, or is it kind of something that's what works for you and them like beneficially now, but maybe eventually you'll break off and do your own thing, or how do you guys see that?
Um, I see that, and I think I can say for the other guys too. I see that as more of a long-term thing. The guys in the collective are good dudes. People can call people tyrants all they want, but everyone's fairly level-headed. Um, like it's generally a pretty good group of dudes that are willing to help each other out, which is really nice to see. Have a good response time to be able to help each other, and just go hang out, go have fun, do events, things like that. It's been really nice.
Right. Someone asked if you're more EU or NA based.
Definitely more NA. We still have a couple of U players. One of our animals of freaking material gatherers is a EU guy.
Oh my goodness, our guy Fire, EU, German.
Dude,
He came in like the first 3 days, had like enough materials for a stack of steel. Like first 3 days out the gate, and we're like, dude, this is awesome. He's like, no worries, I have more for you. Give me 2 days. And we're like, dude, take a break, have a beer, just chill. And no, he's an animal, dude. Um, he's really cool. Yeah, we would like more EU players so that the other EU players can have people to play with and hang
Hmm.
out with. And I've suggested this to the guys. I don't know. They want more EU players, and I asked if we don't get enough, I'd suggest sending them to someone else so that they can just have a good time. Because I would hate for us to get EU players, them not to have groups to hang out with, and then leave the game altogether out of boredom. So
Hmm.
if you do have any EU players, our EU guys need company.
Okay. Does the chat have any questions they would want them to answer? Just FYI. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
You just tuned into the latest channel on Twitch.
Um, Miscreants rule. Jesus Christ. How much pork pie is too much? Someone asked.
Any any amount.
I'm guessing that's one of your guys.
Yeah. Same as he's good dude.
Um, yeah, I really can't think of any questions. I don't know. Um, I'm just gonna give it a minute, see if they can think of anything. Um, yeah. Someone's asking about the Merc Guild thing. They're asking, do you sell content for gold?
what?
Like you pay us, we show up, have some fights and entertainment, and then we leave after so many hours.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, I'm confused by that one.
Yeah, I don't really understand that. I just asked it because maybe I thought someone else would get it.
No, I am confused.
I mean,
Oh, like
Oh,
Spider Queens?
yeah,
Yes.
like will you go help them clear Spider Queen? I'm guessing.
oh,
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. We'll do that. We'll help you guys. Anyone clear Spider Queens, dungeons, so on and so forth.
That would be like
That,
a cool Merc thing
yeah.
to do. Yeah,
Mhm.
like a Merc PVE style stuff.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
We got to post
We
it
do
in our
also
ad.
that.
It's one of the things we specifically call out. We'll absolutely do that for you guys.
Oh man, you get damn. We need a
Mhm.
guild called the Witchers, and then they just go around and do all the PVE content for hire.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, it is in our ad actually in the MO2 that we do assisted PVE contracts as well.
And that Ducky guy, yeah, we do plan on sticking to Boxy come launch.
Okay, yeah. You guys will probably end up going for that Bhakti keep then, huh? Because right now it's owned by Bhakti Village, and that shit ain't gonna fly at launch. I'm telling you right now.
We do
Are
get
you
along
guys?
really well with the village guys.
Yeah.
We're
Are you on the council or?
what's the verbiage they used? We're not temp members. Probationary period, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay. Even after a
Yeah,
month.
so we didn't approach them too long ago, honestly, about running the Bhakti Council. We've been working with them and helping them out just because the past us knowing them in the first place. So we didn't really approach him until too terribly long ago for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still
Roger
waiting
that.
to hear an answer for Momo One's hand. So
Hmm.
Okay. Alrighty, boys. Well, I think that pretty much covers it. Unless there's something else you guys wanted to talk about that I didn't get to.
I don't have anything. If you guys have anything,
no, not that I can think of.
Nothing from me.
Yeah, I think you guys answered the questions pretty well, straightforward. So, I don't know why it went so quick, but I asked the questions I normally ask. I don't know, but I mean that's a
no,
good
I know
thing.
you're
It's,
good.
now they have
I
less to
mean,
watch. They get the answers faster. I don't know.
yeah, and I mean, we're also like any three of us. If anyone has any questions about the guilds or has any questions in general moving forward, we're always open to talk and chat with people. It's we're upfront people. We're not here to hide anything whatsoever. We just call it how we see it.
Yeah. And then if someone does want to, they want to join the guild, is there someone specific they should reach out to, or any of you three from the MO Discord would be fine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
any of us three. We're either all online to a point, have access to our phones to be able to connect to people, so on and forth, so forth. I do sales for a living. My phone lives essentially in my face. So
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit him up on the bat phone, boys.
Yep. So
All right.
it's always on my hand. So whenever anybody messages, I'm there to answer.
What's in your other hand?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
secrets.
I am not always on my phone, as you guys probably witnessed this morning. But I am the one that's up the latest.
Okay. Not up the earliest, but he's up the latest, boys.
I have my faults and I have my pros.
All right, boys. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I thank you guys for coming out and doing this with me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us out here, man. It was good.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us here.
All right. I'll see you, boys.
We'll see you.
Yep. See you, buds.
Alrighty, guys. GG's. Yeah, that went kind of quick. I don't know. I asked all the questions. I really couldn't think of anything else.